tomorrow. I shall let you know. Most of you must be getting full marks, inshallah. So let's start our topic 30.6 lymphatic system, which I introduced you yesterday itself. So let's first recap the contents which we covered yesterday. So this is chapter 30.6, the last topic from the chapter 30. We are on page number 872 from your textbook. Okay, so let's, this is a verse from the Quran which is related to this topic. This is a verse from chapter 7 verse 204, which says, so when the Quran is recited, then listen to it and pay attention that you may receive mercy. Okay, so according to survey, listening to Quran for 3 hours every day enhances your immune system. It protects your heart and brain and reprograms your cells. Subhanallah. So the sine waves of the recitation of the Holy Quran, it activates the body cells and cures illnesses, especially the heart attack and cancer. Okay, so try to listen to the Quran as much as possible and try to reflect on it so that you get mercy, mashallah. And this is being practiced in most of the hospitals in the Islamic countries these days. Okay, moving on to the objectives for this topic are to explain how lymphatic system provides another type of circulation in the body apart from the circulatory system, and to discuss how lymphatic system is a major part of immune system. Okay, so we did this KWL yesterday. So this picture which you can see on the screen, it is not circulatory system, but it is lymphatic system, though it might seem similar, but you can see the spleen over here, which also plays an important function in the lymphatic system. So let's talk about the functions of lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, it provides another type of circulation in the body. That means we know the circulatory system, it distributes the blood throughout the body. It brings in gases and nutrients to every cell, right? So apart from this, your body has a second network to circulate fluids throughout the body, which is the lymphatic system. Like the circulatory system, the lymphatic system brings nutrients to the cells and carries waste products away. But it also absorbs the extra fluid in the body and fights diseases. So these are the two unique functions of the lymphatic system apart from the circulatory system, are that not only it absorbs the extra fluid which is leaking out of the vessels, and also it fights and protects the body against the diseases and disease-causing pathogens. So let's talk about how lymph is collected from tissues and returned to the circulatory system. So the lymphatic system consists of a complex network of organs, vessels, and nodes throughout the body. The system, it collects the excess fluid that leaks out of the blood capillaries into the area between the cells. This fluid called you can call it interstitial fluid. Okay, so it spells interstitial. So it is interstitial fluid. Okay, it brings nutrients to the cells and removes their waste. So it collects this lymph or the fluid which is being leaked from the blood capillaries into the areas between the cells, and this fluid, it is known as interstitial fluid. It brings nutrients to the cells and removes their waste. So although 90% of the fluid, it returns to the capillaries, up to 3 liters per day remains outside the blood vessels. So you know how much amount it is being leaked. So up to 3 liters per day it remains outside the blood vessels. Without the lymphatic system, your body would begin to swell as more fluid becomes trapped in your tissues. So the system prevents this problem through a 2-step process. How? Step 1, it collects the fluid, filters it to remove dead cells and microorganisms, and in step 2, it returns the cleared fluid back to the circulatory system. So now you know how important the lymphatic system is. So if the lymphatic system, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't filter those 3 liters of the amount of fluid which is leaked from the blood vessels, and if it does not filter it and return it back to the circulatory system, your body will swell and the functions of the circulatory system, they will not be performed properly. Okay, so that is why the lymphatic system and its functions are very, very important to your body. Now the lymphatic circulation, it begins when the fluid between the cells, it enters the lymphatic capillaries, where it becomes known as lymph. Okay, so this fluid, after it enters the lymphatic system, it enters the lymphatic capillaries where it becomes this lymph. The lymph then flows into larger vessels within the lymphatic system. So without a heart to pump the fluid, the vessels, they rely on the contractions of skeletal and the smooth muscles to circulate the lymph. So unlike the circulatory system, there is no heart over here which keeps pumping so that the blood moves through the arteries and the vessels. So how does the lymph move through the lymphatic vessels and capillaries is because of the movements of the skeletal system and the smooth muscle. Okay, so as and when we are moving, we are doing the various daily activities, this helps the lymph moving in the vessels and the capillaries. And also because of the contractions of the smooth muscles, the lymph, it circulates. So one-way valves, similar to those in veins, keep the fluid from flowing backwards. So all the vessels in the lymphatic system, they have these valves, like we checked in the structure of the veins. These valves, they prevent the backflow of this lymph in the vessels, moving it in only one direction. Okay, because this is very, very important because there is no pressure in the lymph in the vessels, so it will not move in one direction only. It may come back. That is why, in order to prevent it, there are valves preventing this backward flow in the lymph vessels. Okay, so from the vessels, lymph collects in small rounded structures called lymph nodes. The nodes filter the lymph and trap bacteria, viruses, fungi, and cell fragments. Okay, so not only this lymphatic system, it collects the lymph, but it also filters it from the bacteria, viruses, or any pathogens which are present in this lymph. They are filtered. The specialized immune cells, they ingest and destroy this organic material. Okay, so there are specialized immune cells present in the lymphatic system which ingest, that is, they swallow and destroy all these foreign materials. Then vessels then carry the lymph out of the nodes, and in the last stage of the journey, the lymph returns to the circulatory system. So two large vessels, one on either side of the body, they enter veins located just under the collarbones. The lymph is returned to the blood and becomes part of the circulatory system again. Okay, so as the lymph which is being filtered, the bacteria and the various pathogens, they are being killed, and again the lymph is returned back to the circulatory system. So that is why the main function of the lymphatic system is to collect the lymph which is leaking, or the fluid which is leaking from the vessels, and carry and bringing it back to the circulatory system. And the second function is protecting our body against diseases. So how is it protecting our body against diseases is, this lymph, it is being filtered before it is being passed on to the circulatory system again. Alright girls, so this is how the lymph is collected from the tissues and returned back to the circulatory system. When lymphatic tissues and nodes are damaged or removed, lymph cannot drain normally from that area. The result is swelling as fluid accumulates. The swelling, it can be controlled by exercise, pressure bandages, or garments and massage. So these treatments, they exert pressure on the tissue and nodes and to push lymph into the vessels. So sometimes if these lymph vessels or nodes are damaged in one particular area, you can see the swelling in that area because of the lymph being collected there. Okay, so you must have noticed sometimes in elderly people the swelling in their feet, the swelling in their entire body, known as oedema. Oedema is a condition in which the fluid is retained in the body. So one of the reasons for the swelling might be because of the lymphatic vessels or the nodes being damaged. So the treatment for this is you need to do exercise, or you need to apply the pressure bandages in that particular area, or massage in order to start the circulation again, and in order for that lymph to pass or push through the vessels and reach the circulatory system. Okay girls, so this is how the lymphatic system it works. Is it clear? Any questions? Is it clear so far, girls? Yes or no? Any questions? Okay, so let me ask a quick question if it is clear. How would sitting for a long time affect the lymphatic circulation? When we were discussing in the circulatory system, the blood, when it passes through the veins, it does not pass through pressure. So for that, our skeletal system, it needs to move. So whenever we sit for a longer period of time, we have cramps in our legs and also in our hands if we are not moving them for a longer period of time because of lack of circulation. So the same thing does it happen even with the lymphatic system. If we are sitting for a longer period of time, does it affect the lymphatic circulation? Yes, it affects the lymphatic circulation as well. So lymphatic circulation depends on the activity of the skeletal muscles to pump the fluid throughout the body. So if someone sits too long, it cannot move as efficiently and lymph may pool in the legs causing swelling. Okay, so sitting for a long time not only causes your cramps in the legs and also the various parts, but also it may result in swelling because of the pooling of the lymph in the legs and also in the various muscles. Alright, so movement exercise is very, very important for this lymphatic system in order to work or function properly. The next subtopic is the lymphatic system is a major part of the immune system. How? Let's study. Three structures in the lymphatic system, the tonsils, thymus, and spleen, also function as part of the immune system. Okay, so these three parts which you can see in this picture over here, the tonsils which are in your throat under your neck here, in the neck, and the thymus which is located over here below the neck, and the spleen, all these three parts of the lymphatic system, they are also parts of the immune system. Each of these structures has specialized functions that help the body to defend itself. The tonsils are lymph nodes set in the back of the throat on either side. You know where the tonsils are located, at the back of your neck, at the back of your throat here. So these nodes, they help to filter out bacteria and viruses that have escaped the body's outer defenses. Okay, so the lymph nodes are present in your tonsils. So what do? If your nose, if the nose hairs, they have escaped a few bacteria or pathogens which have entered your nose or your mouth. So in the throat, these nodes, they filter these bacteria and viruses without entering your body. When too many pathogens collect in the tonsils, these nodes, they become swollen and infected and may have to be removed. You must have heard about the tonsillitis. You get pain in your tonsils, and if the pain is too much, if the infection is too much, you feel a swelling in these tonsils. And once they swell, if it is too severe, then such conditions, then you need to get operated and your tonsils, they will be removed. Okay, so the reason why these tonsils swell and get infected is when there are too many bacteria which are filtered. Why the too many bacteria are present is the lymph nodes, they are present in your tonsils and they filter the pathogens which enter your body. So after filtering, they remain in your tonsils. So when your tonsils, they become infected with too many bacteria, then you get the swelling and the pain, and the tonsils, they need to be removed when they are filled with too much of bacteria. Okay, then this is about tonsils, and the next part is the thymus. The thymus, it is located behind the breastbone and is important in developing certain types of WBC known as lymphocytes. We already know the main function of WBC in our body is they are the soldiers of our body. They help in protecting our body or fighting against various pathogens which enter our body, right? So this thymus, which is located behind our breastbone, it is the production point, that is, it helps in developing a certain type of WBC known as lymphocytes. So these cells, they help the body fight pathogens, parasites, and other types of foreign organisms. So some immature lymphocytes migrate from the bone marrow to the thymus. Okay, so basically these lymphocytes, they are made in the bone marrow of your body, but some immature lymphocytes, they migrate from the bone marrow to the thymus, where they develop the ability to recognize specific microorganisms. Okay, so if they are immature, they get matured in this part, which is thymus, wherein they get this ability in order to recognize various microorganisms. And most of these cells, they leave the thymus and circulate through the lymphatic and circulatory systems to protect the body. Okay, so this is the function of this thymus. What does it do? It helps in developing or maturing these lymphocytes and developing that the quality with the help of which they can recognize various microorganisms. Okay, so once these lymphocytes are mature, they again enter your circulatory and lymphatic system and they defend your body against various pathogens. And the third structure is the spleen. The spleen is the largest organ in the lymphatic system. Its main job is to filter and clean the lymph of the cell fragments and abnormal tissues. So what does the spleen do? It filters and cleans the lymph of the cell fragments and the abnormal tissues. This organ also contains many lymphocytes and other WBC that destroy harmful bacteria and foreign organisms. Okay, so not only it filters, but it also contains the various lymphocytes or WBC which help in destroying the harmful bacteria and foreign organisms. Okay, so these three structures, the tonsils, the thymus and the spleen, which are present in the lymphatic system, they help in protecting your body against various pathogens and bacteria and the various types of parasites. So these three, they are not only the part of lymphatic system, but they are also a part of your immune system. Okay, so that is why we say the function of a lymphatic system is it protects your body against various infections or it provides immunity to your body. Clear, girls, about this function? So a lymphatic system, it is a major part of the immune system. Any questions so far, girls? Is it clear? Yes or no, you need to answer. Hello?
Yes.
It's clear? Okay, let me ask you a question if it's clear. Please answer this. If the spleen is removed, how might the immune and lymphatic systems be affected? Because spleen, it is the main organ of the lymphatic system. If this spleen is removed from your body, how might it affect the immune and lymphatic systems? Can these systems function properly if the spleen is removed, girls?
No.
Obviously not. These systems, they cannot function properly. Why? Because both the systems would be impaired. The spleen, it cleans the lymph and produces WBC. Removing it would mean that more debris might accumulate in the lymph. Also, fewer WBC would be produced, reducing the effectiveness of the immune system. So the functions of both these systems, the immune and the lymphatic system, will be impaired if the spleen is removed from your body. Okay, girls, so that is about this topic. We are done. It is a very small topic about how the lymph is, how the lymphatic system works and how the lymph is collected. The lymphocytes, they help destroy the pathogens, parasites and foreign matter. You have the information about how the lymph is collected. I just discussed about it to you. You have again the summary over here. And you have the summary of how the lymphatic system is a major part of the immune system. Okay, with this we are done with this topic. Let me give you some more information about this lymphatic system. In the history of science, there is a scientist called Florence Rena Sabin. Her name is Florence Rena Sabin. She worked from 1871 to 1953. She was a pioneering medical researcher in the field of lymphatic system development. Sabin discovered that lymphatic vessels, they arose from veins. She found that the outer layer of the cells on veins sprouted buds, buds, much like stems growing out of the branches of the trees, proving that the lymphatic system developed entirely from existing vessels in the body. Okay, so she proved that lymphatic system, it must have developed entirely from the already existing vessels in the body. Okay girls, so this is about the function of the lymphatic system. I believe it's clear. If you have any questions, you can ask me. We are also going to study about the immune system further in your topics which we are going to cover next. So with this, we are done with this chapter 30. In our next class, inshallah, we shall solve the worksheets for this topic. So after that, we will be done with chapter 30. After that, we shall start a new chapter for you. Okay, girls, let me tell you which chapter we are going